Hi, let's start by talking about what is alignment and magnetism coaching.
Yeah. Well, I'm essentially I work through the framework of psychosynthesis, but when I was trying to figure out what it is that I do and how I help people, I wanted to also come in with like, what is it that I truly embody and what have I experienced in my life? And I felt like the framework of psychosynthesis really helped me transform, and then it helped me with helping my clients. And I think a lot of the times we don't realize that we have so many programs that we're running, and the first 7 years of our life are extremely crucial because that is when we are getting all of these, I like to call them like layers of sub personalities that we're accumulating and influences. And, you know, the amount of advertisements that we're seeing, everything is influencing us. And so it's a way for someone, I help people come back to self, to
Mhm.
remove, it's like thinking of a rose, like, the flowering, the process of removing, coming back to self, coming back to you and wholeness. And once that process happens, so I know manifestation is like a hot topic because, yes, that does come along with alignment and then magnetizing and drawing things in. But I think there's a lot of that grounding work to do first before we get into that place. But then that's when you start to really feel confident in your skin and who you are and live in alignment in purpose. And
Mhm.
yeah, and that's when the magic, I feel like, really truly starts to take place, like the magnetism. And I think a lot of it is teaching people the balance of feminine and masculine energy and how to incorporate that in all areas of your life. Um, so much of us kind of like are in the grind constantly and like, what's next? What's next? What's next?
Mhm.
And I've noticed that the miracles take place when we're nurturing to be able to continue to do what we're doing. But also just that's when I feel like the manifestations come in is when
It's a natural byproduct of just living in alignment. After you do all of that inner work, it happens naturally.
it does. It really does. The people, the places, the things. It's like you're and I'm guilty of it too. I'm like, I have all this to do today, and
Mhm.
then I go into like very chronos, like the chronos time, right?
Mhm.
Very linear and really very linear thinking. And then I'm like, okay, I'm getting up here. Time to get back into my body, go
Exactly.
into my body and do breath work. And then I'm able to really know what's kind of right and how I should take the next step. And so I kind of help my clients through that process and get into alignment. And then, okay, like now what's happening? Oh, well, now I'm repelling people. But I'm also seeing this happening. Okay, congratulations. Like that's what you
Mhm.
should be doing because you're not for everyone.
Mhm.
And yeah, and so it's a beautiful process of becoming and being comfortable in your skin and just knowing what's for you, what's not for you, and living in your purpose.
Mhm. Wow, that's powerful. I love that.
Thank you.
So let's say I was a client and I feel really out of alignment and I don't know what to do or where to start. What would you tell me?
Depending on, I guess, something, I would guess I would just start to ask questions. I think curiosity, right? Like someone can be in a completely great space. They're succeeding like on paper, they have it all, but something is just, it doesn't feel right. Like they
Mhm.
want
I
more.
know so many people, so many women like that in Los Angeles.
There's a whisper like going on, like
Yeah.
what else? And it's because that is a sub personality that's driving their bus.
Yeah.
And there's a deeper voice asking to be seen. And that's scary. Change is scary. And allowing yourself to be vulnerable is scary. And so, what I would do is I would create like one, the container, the safe space, and just be like, this could be a fun process. And yeah, it might not be so fun at some points.
Mhm.
That's normal. Um, But this is a place for us to get curious because, and I like to say this, with awareness, you will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Do you have like a daily practice that you do to stay in alignment?
Yeah. Many. And I think like sometimes, even my family and friends, if they see me like kind of go off, if I'm too much in my head, they're like, oh, what is she doing? But I'll just kind of walk away and sit down and just get into my breath work, just feel really present. I'll light Palo Santo if I need to. Taking like 5 seconds of, breath in and then holding and then taking, exhaling for 5 and kind of repeating that process
Mm-hmm.
helps people and helps me get from in my being in my mind to my body. And the nervous system regulates instead of being in fight or flight. And that's when we get clarity. That's when we kind of get in tune with certain answers needed. And so that's something I prioritize at least once a day.
Mm-hmm.
And then asking myself, transpersonal qualities, right? Love, unity, connection, creativity, all these different beautiful qualities.
Mm-hmm.
I ask myself, like, what am I feeling today? And why am I not feeling these qualities? Because it's completely normal to not feel those qualities
Right.
at times when we're
Mhm.
getting tested or whatever. And then asking myself, what's the lesson? And so trying to stay in the highest frequency, even though I'm like,
Right. Yeah.
which is not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's some things that I do to really help myself and remind myself of the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm. I saw you also host events, right?
Yeah,
Tell
I
us more
started
about
to do
that.
that. I'm. How do I say it? I feel like there's so much to teach, to know, to connect, and sometimes the one-on-one containers don't really resonate well for everyone.
Yeah.
A lot of people may think like, oh, it's coaching. I don't need a cheerleader, or I don't need a therapist, or people don't
Or they're
really
not ready to open up fully yet. They're not ready to like really be vulnerable with themselves.
because
Sometimes
it's
community is super healing. Just being with people that can support you and like make you feel seen and like comfortable, you know?
exactly. Exactly. And it's a way to just like kind of get that icebreaker in, right? And so I started to create different themes like right before the fire horse. I had this crazy visualization and when I was being coached and I was like, wow, this was so powerful. I really felt like I had this like rebirth moment. Um I could share that story, but I was like, I want to create something where, women can get together and create this sisterhood again because I feel like within certain friendships that I experienced and things like that, I don't find that, women support each other so much. And I don't want to blame the patriarchy or whoever else, but whatever the
So
reason
true.
is, I want to like get us all back together and cheer for each other and feel safe with one another. And so I started with that. But now I'm kind of opening up to different things. So I'm constantly getting asked, like, well, why don't we do a manifestation, workshop? And it's like, sure.
The vision boards.
And it's like, okay, yeah, but then your subpersonality could be still driving your bus, or you could be in a cycle that you that you haven't dealt with and
Right.
created the awareness of how to navigate what you need to do for the lesson to complete.
Yeah.
So you're going to keep manifesting the same thing over and over again, honey. So
Uh-huh.
what is it that
So
we
many
really
people don't
need?
understand those deeper layers. They really need that help.
It's like, okay, yeah, we can manifest, but you're going to manifest the same kind of partner. You're going
Right.
to
It's
manifest
the
the same kind of
subconscious.
boss.
The subconscious rules 95% of our behavior and like the outcome of everything we do.
Exactly.
So until you rewire that, you're not going to change. Right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So how would you go about rewiring your subconscious? Because it's not that easy sometimes. Like it's
No.
so deeply ingrained in us, especially the first 7 years of our life. How do we go back and really change and then see that change in our life?
When I am working specifically like one-on-one with somebody, I find that there's more more moment of clarity and transformation. I can really go deep with that one-on-one
Mhm.
session, right? When you're in a group setting, there's still kind of protective layers, and you don't want to go too deep because you don't know what's going to happen afterwards. So when I'm sitting one-on-one, um, I just ask questions, and people don't go deeper than that.
Mhm.
They're like, this is happening, and whatever, whatever, and it's like, okay, I'm the victim, but it's then when you start to ask, well, why is that happening? Okay, well then why is this? And sometimes you realize, oh, whoa, when I was 6 years old, I never spoke up because I wasn't validated when I spoke up, or I actually was, punished for speaking up because I was being too loud and I wasn't allowed to be loud. So now you are in submissive, like, dynamics and not speaking up for yourself. And
Mhm.
so it's just the curiosity, honestly,
Yeah.
being curious and helping them become more aware. And then once that awareness hits, um, that's when you just like you break. But it's not enough. I'm sure you've
It
experienced
starts with
this. It
awareness, and then
starts
you
with
gotta
awareness.
start changing your behavior.
And then it goes in with habits and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
when you think about, let's say, manifesting and drawing something into your reality, there's like three components. There's thinking, and there's feeling, and there's acting on it, right? And so a lot of the times when we're talking about our mind body connection again, um, a lot of times we could think we want something, but then in order to feel it, we have to claim it, right? But the
Mhm.
body might not feel safe.
Exactly.
So then our nervous system will, tell us this isn't for us, this isn't safe, go back.
Mhm.
Because we know what's happening here. We know what's familiar, and familiarity feels more comfortable. It's safe here.
Mhm.
Um, and so what are simple things that you can do every single day to become more comfortable taking just that little step?
Yeah.
And that's grounding, breathing, getting clarity, because the mind and the heart connection, right? The body connection. Um, and I might be going on a tangent, but then, I don't know if you heard, but like heart resonance, how
Mhm.
it's so much stronger than the brain, and what we can actually bring in. It's crazy. And I think that's why they say authenticity is like
The
the
highest
highest frequency,
frequency.
because when you're living in your truth and from your heart.
Yeah. That was the biggest shift for me in my entire life, was opening my heart, because for years my heart was so closed. I didn't even realize it was causing like depression and like disconnection from people. And then when my heart opened, I was like living in a whole nother world.
Yeah.
And it changed my entire personality, existence, like, and I didn't realize it for years. For almost like half of my life, I was living like that. And then I did plant medicine, and that opened my heart. And then I was like, it shifted my reality. And I feel so much better now, so much happier.
What was it like when you first opened up? What was the
I was
shift
shedding
that you
so
saw?
much emotion. I was crying. I was like, I couldn't even really talk about it. I was just super emotional.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I felt like it would come in waves. Um, that's when I did ayahuasca the first time in Peru.
Yeah.
And it was a huge blessing. Only looking back, I can see what was happening,
Mhm.
but I'm so grateful for that. I think I needed something super strong like ayahuasca. Like for me, I did talk therapy and stuff, but I wouldn't allow myself to get that deep. Like breathwork too really helped me with that, but
Mhm.
ayahuasca just like cracks you open.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes there's that's necessary, right? Like there's certain
Yeah.
people, but there's a lot of people too that need to feel like they have some form of control. And so you
Yeah, so
need
I
to
don't like being in control. I'm
break
like,
them.
take the control.
Yeah.
I trust this.
Yeah.
So for me, a lot of my friends are like, I don't want to give away control. I can't do plant
Mhm.
medicine. And I'm the opposite. I'm like, I
Mhm.
don't want to.
No, I
I'll
mean,
just surrender.
yeah, exactly. No. And so there's no one way for
Exactly.
everyone, right?
Mhm.
But after something like that, there's still work to be done, right?
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
it's
the
like
integration is like 80% of the actual experience,
so,
because
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's almost like an accountability partner, like almost at the same time after that. Like, okay, so all of this happened. Now what?
Yeah.
Now that your heart is open, now what?
Mm-hmm.
Now
So
what's going
true.
to happen? I remember when that happened to me. And honestly, I'd probably say like the last 2 years. It was crazy to even think about. But I was masking a lot, holding a lot of emotions in my body and not knowing that I wasn't open really.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we know that we store all of like our emotions in our body, and if we don't get it out in
Right.
whether that's physical activity, writing, painting, whatever that is for you,
Mm-hmm.
it gets stored and that becomes like disease. And so it was crazy as I was going through this coaching journey and learning alongside of the other coaches. I just start like crying sometimes. I'm just like,
Yeah.
what the heck
I
is
get it.
happening? Or like my throat chakra was closed.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I would get up to speak, like it would literally close up on me. And I'd be
Yeah.
like,
That's
I
been
need to
my
drink
biggest
water.
thing too, is the throat chakra. Like it's like we should talk about
It's-
that.
I
So many women have that
I know.
problem.
I know. Yeah. So for example, sometimes in session, a way for me to bring in some like somatic practices and get clarity on like what's going on with them and their body, is I'll kind of ground them and tune them in, and then I'll kind of work through the different 7 centers. And some people know the 7 centers as like the chakras.
Mm-hmm.
And so something that is going on, whatever that theme may be, I'll start to bring that up, and then I'll have them kind of like work their hands as they're breathing and talking and just thinking about it. And then I start to notice like their breath change. Like they'll start to like choke sometimes, even though they're like in a like trance state, right? And so I'm like, oh, okay. I noticed breath changing in around their stomach, and then they started to choke up. So their personal power is
Yeah.
being taken
You're
away
literally
because
doing Reiki.
I yeah, their personal power is being taken away, and it's because they're not speaking up and saying
Mhm.
something, and it's scary.
Yeah. It's very scary.
Yeah, everything is so there's so much to say. I feel like I'm still working through my throat chakra. I feel like I'm there.
I do think when we have the
Yeah.
biggest blockages in a certain chakra, we have the biggest breakthrough and the biggest purpose too. So it's like, you learn so many lessons about opening this, but then it's like you have the most power in that area too. In the end, if you continue on that path, it's like the biggest blessing too. Like the biggest shadow holds the biggest light too. So,
Ding, ding. Exactly. So like, what is your biggest struggle? Because that may be something that you need to teach, or you need to. It's
link to your purpose.
Mhm.
And that's a rite of passage for someone like a healer. Like they go through so much, but then it becomes their purpose. Do you feel like that's true for you?
Yeah. I just, I think part of the reason why I couldn't have my heart open was because I was like, I can't feel what's going on right now. And that's what happens, right? Like
Yeah.
you physically can't feel because you need to be present, and you need to go to school, you need to go to work, and so if you were to allow all of that, and so my body, I feel like, was in either a constant state of flight or fight, and it like kind of froze, like
Yeah.
literally
It happened to me too.
and I had almost like like a numb experience to everything.
Mhm.
And it was really sad because so much had happened in my life, and I kind of shared with you briefly, just and still learning how to share my story so I don't hurt other people's feelings or share their story at the same time. But so traumatic, so dark. And now I'm like, that is why.
Mm-hmm.
That is why. And the things that, I could control, I would then, after that Saturn return, I was like, okay, but I invited that into my experience. I had that like awareness. Like, I can't play the victim. There was a reason. There was something that I drew that person or that experience into my reality. And so for a long time, I think for like 2-3 years, I went into a hermit, and I did not like myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked through that, and it was hard. And then I was like, okay, this feels good. I'm going to stay inside. And then I'm like, no, healing is going outside and connecting and being with people to see if you learn the lesson, because it's super easy to just like hermit and be like, okay, I'm safe here.
Yeah, exactly. But the best healing comes from actually being in a relationship with people and then seeing what they trigger and then working through it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. And there was just moment of surrender after surrender. And then I think, just when I had my Kundalini experience, and then that Psychosynthesis Institute got like put in front of my face.
It found you. You didn't have to do anything.
I did it.
You just showed up.
Yeah. And, I was telling you earlier, I got the phone calls from my friends of like, you missed your calling. You missed your calling.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I've been asking for a sign. And that whisper, since I've started on this path, is completely gone. And everything is just kind of happening.
I love that.
And
this is like the good part now after all the hard work.
Yeah. And I know, obviously, it's not, we talk about it, it's not linear, right? There's going to be something.
Another cycle of healing eventually, yeah.
But at least I feel like I have the tools in my toolbox now to move through it. I don't know how you feel, but that's just kind of where I'm at. Yeah,
How long ago was the Kundalini awakening?
So I had my first like awakening experience, I'd say like in 2017, 18. And then I think I went through another huge one when I turned 30 in 2021, right around the time we met.
Oh, interesting. I went through my awakening in 2017 too. So
crazy.
I think it comes in waves.
We're part of the same team.
Yeah, we make it at the same time.
Yeah. And then the Kundalini was right after I was like, when I was doing the Daniel fast, I was sharing with you like the 3, 6, 3, it was 6, I don't know, however many months of like kind of just being away and alone and really prioritizing what's next, what's for me, surrendering, and then with the whole diet thing. And then next thing you know, I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like looking up research, and you know how that goes too. Then you see things that are like, oh, that's the Kundalini is the devil. It's or this is this. And then it's like, no, you got to get the Holy Spirit. And so I'm like,
oh yeah, there's so much information out there. I'm writing a book and I talk about Kundalini awakening.
I love. Thank you.
Yeah, because it's scary. I actually felt like when you can't sleep and you have so much energy, and like I learned that you can actually kind of turn it off. Like you can set the intention to like, this is enough energy. Like I can turn this off for a while, because you feel really wired when you go through that.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. And then having family members who have gone through certain things.
Right. Then you're scared, like then this is genetic and that's going to happen to me or something.
And then you feel like you can't share it with people close to you because
they're going to
like watch you closely. And you're like, I feel actually like really like, because you can also, ground into it. And that's what spiritual psychosis is, right? When you're up here and not.
You still have the awareness of what's going on. That's the thing. You didn't like completely lose yourself.
Yeah. And so I know we talked about like bringing that in, because so many people feel like that part, what you're going through, is such a like lonely experience because you have no one to talk to. And I remember feeling scared, like I can't tell my therapist like this is happening, and what if they see this in my family's chart, and then they're going to be like, okay, well,
they're going to diagnose you. Yeah, and try to put you on medication. That happens to a lot of people.
Exactly. And not just like, in my mind, now if people need whatever they need, that's their decision to make. But I feel like that there's this, it kind of takes you away from your divinity in a sense.
I agree.
Yeah. So
it is a blessing, a Kundalini awakening. It really is. And in the end, it's aligning you to your purpose, and it's removing all the blockages that, hold you back. So it's a really powerful experience. It's a good thing. Yeah. I think a lot of people actually want it to happen, like not knowing how intense it is. They're like, yeah. People doing Kundalini yoga, trying to like wake up that energy.
Brace yourself. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's true. It's true. I mean, it's a blessing. But
you go through process, like ego death, the dark night of the soul, like losing your identity. You don't know who you are, what you're gonna do. It's hard.
And then people around you are questioning, what are you doing? Like,
Exactly.
you were doing this, you set yourself up to do this and work in this field, and like, what is going on? And then you have to kind of come back to yourself again and remind yourself, like, I listened to you guys for a long time. At least that's my personal experience.
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of the decisions that I made, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to this too, are decisions that our parents made for us, or so-and-so made for us, or our friend groups influenced all these different things. And I kind of forgot where I was going with this, but yeah, like the path is not easy, is what I was getting at. Is like, your friends are going to question you. You're going to start to look unfamiliar, and your family's
People are going to think you're crazy.
They're going to think you're crazy.
I dropped out of college when I was 21 and moved to Bali by myself. And everyone was like, what's going on with Elena? And then I stayed there, and then I went back to college, and I graduated college at 24. And I didn't know anyone in my graduating class because I like left and came back. Like, it was such a crazy time, but it all made sense in the end. Then I moved to Los Angeles by myself. Like, it's so, like, no one else is gonna walk the path you walk when you have a spiritual awakening.
Exactly.
But it also trains your intuition to be really strong, and you learn to lead yourself, and then you learn to lead other people after that.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, you took the leap. You heard the call and you took the leap. That's what you did.
Yeah. And then when I moved there, I learned how to read Akashic records and do energy healing. So that was part of my purpose. And I would have never learned how to do that in Michigan.
Wow.
You know?
What did you learn when you were like the Akashic? Do you want to talk about the Akashic records?
Yeah, we can talk about it a little bit. Essentially, it's just channeling. So you open yourself up to receive information from source and then from people's guides. So we all have, in the training I did, they call it masters, teachers, and loved ones.
Oh.
So essentially they're spirit guides and angels, and you have to tap into the ones that are fully healed, because there's different like entities. They're not all positive.
No.
So, yeah, it's just like channeling information for people. And a lot of it's about the future, the present, the past. Sometimes past lives come through, not always.
Yeah.
But I had no idea when I went to Bali that I would be learning that, you know, because I'm from like a small town. I went to Catholic school. I never heard of any of these things. But then when I learned how to do Akashic record readings, I realized I was really naturally good at it. And then I've been doing it for lifetimes. So that came back to me, and like I was doing readings for people all over the world.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then I started doing Reiki too.
Yeah.
Energy healing.
Yeah. It's so interesting because I've never been trained in any of that. And I think I was sharing with you briefly because I wanted to hear what you had to say, right? Because this is what you've been doing. But like, I channel in my session, and I remember one of my coaches that was leading me, my lead was like, when you trust your channel, it will serve your client so deeply. And I was like, and I trust my channel. I'm like, the visions that I'm getting while I'm talking to them, and you know, the feelings that I'm feeling in my body, that's the feelings that they're feeling. And it's
exactly, you can take on exactly what they're going through.
And so learning how to not absorb that, but I'm like, oh, okay. So this is like that. We're conduits, right? Like,
exactly,
you open yourself up and you're a conduit to the information that comes through. I'm curious because this is something that I'm learning how to navigate through. So I want to hear from you. How do you navigate? And I just kind of now, as a human design projector, wait for the invitation.
Yeah.
I don't know where you are, but let's say you're bringing this up in a room and people are open to it, but there's some people that may be hesitant because their religion says X, Y, or Z, and this is like devil. So how do you navigate that?
I mean, I tell them that I also believe in religion and I'm not against it. And I don't think it takes away from your religion.
Yeah.
It's just another aspect of life that, part of being human is the fact that we are souls in a body having a human experience. And religion exists, spirituality exists, and they can coexist. I believe in both. I think they both have their place. I like going to church and I read the Bible. I also know we have spirit guides and I think doesn't have to be
black.
So exactly.
Yeah, I look at it like almost like every religion is like a trilogy in a sense, because I see everything just woven in. And what's crazy is I find it woven into the framework as well that I was telling you about. So I'm like, that's crazy. But I do get saddened sometimes because I feel a call to work with somebody because I feel them going through something. And I know as a human projector, quote unquote, we're not supposed to reach out. We're supposed to wait for the invitation.
Yeah. Projectors are super rare, by the way. Aren't they like the most rare?
Reflectors.
But, okay.
But 20% of like the population, are projectors. And so we're like, we see under the microscope.
Yeah. I can tell.
It's like, oh, nothing has ever surfaced. It's like, let's go as deep as we possibly
I like
can.
it.
But no, I get sad because I might have something just very surface level, right? I'm very much like you. But they're like, oh no, like the Bible says that like God heals me. I guess I don't want to like overstep.
Yeah.
And I have to just kind of wait for them.
Yeah. They have to go through their own process.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to believe that. When I went to Catholic school, I fully believed everything in the Bible.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, and I'm glad that I was like raised that way. I think it was part of my process. But eventually I went through an awakening and then I saw the truth. And
well, that's the thing, right? Because then you go back and you're like, okay, well, so what's happening? But I guess for me personally, I had no answers. I didn't get answers when I was like, I am having dreams that someone's going to pass and then they passed.
Oh.
I am having this and that and you're a kid. And they're like, read your Bible, pray. And I'm just like, so I guess it's the curiosity and we all have our experiences. And so we open up to what we experience, right? And so everyone's going through their path, and it's hard sometimes. So I'm like, no,
it really is. It's really hard.
Get one session with me. I won't use any divination tools. Like, let's just.
Yeah, there is so much fear that sometimes I forget. Even when I go back to my hometown, and it's Cadillac, Michigan. It's like 10,000 people, super simple, small Christian town. I do energy healing. And my mom's like, you need to be prepared that people are going to be offended. And like these like really Christian people are going to like question you. And I'm like, I'm ready for it. But I'd forget that people have that mindset sometimes
because we're so
living far removed from it.
Yeah. No, I rarely find it, but I still do. Like, yeah. So I just had that. I think I brought it up right now because I recently had that happen. I had somebody booked with me and I was so excited because I feel like she's really in like her dark night of the soul right now. Yeah. And I felt that from her, and she feels very lonely. And so I was really excited. And the next thing you know, I saw like she canceled and she was making all these excuses. And then like she was posting all these Bible verses, and then like my intuition kicked in and I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just wait again.
Yeah.
Like I said, nothing wrong with it, but
when someone is really meant to get coached by somebody, I believe there's like a soul contract with them. And I avoided working with this coach for like a year, and then I did ayahuasca, and ayahuasca like forced me to hire her. It's a long story, but she was a big part of my ayahuasca ceremony, and it was pretty much like nothing's gonna move forward until you hire her, because it was like $5 or $6 grand, and I was like, it's expensive, I don't want to do it. I don't think I need it. And then my life got so like bad that I had the only option was to hire her. Like life forced me to hire her.
Full body chills right now.
So, and then I did, and then she got me out of like super hard time. And then I did the like, deepest healing work without doing plant medicine, just like straight up like inner child healing. She called me out on being a perfectionist, which was holding me back in so many ways. I couldn't see it. And then that changed like that was like a year ago. And after that, my whole life moved forward. But
wow, she was like a physical guide here for you.
And she's actually the one I did ayahuasca with in Peru in 2023. So I did her ayahuasca retreat, and then I hired her as a coach like 2 years later.
Wow.
But
I had full body chills.
Yeah, I swear when someone's meant to work with you, like life's gonna make them eventually.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I think it's just part of I think it's one of the things where it's like, I can help you, but then realize like, it's not, you can't overstep. It's their path, their learning and their time. And then I realized like everything, you remind yourself, everything is divinely orchestrated.
It's so true.
As it's supposed to. But yeah, so yeah.
So how do people find you if they want to schedule a session?
Sometimes I'm posting a lot, on Instagram. And so I have my link tree. I used to have a website, but I just didn't felt like
you don't even need it.
I felt like the link tree was a little bit better. So, maybe I can hand that over to you and you can put it down and I don't know, whatever you do.
Got you.
And then, I just LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn too. Crystal Virgen, which is funny. Yes, that is my real name. Virgen, which is funny because an astrologer actually brought in, she was like, it's in your name, Crystal. Like, you think about what a crystal is, and then you think about virgin, like you were like sovereign, like you are actually.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, this was your purpose in this lifetime. Because my mom actually talks about how she didn't realize, like she just knew she was going to have Crystal. And I was like, Mom, but if you married a man with the last name Virgin, you would think we would reconsider what the first name was going to be. And it's actually quite funny. I'm totally going on a separate tangent after what you just asked.
No, I like that.
But,
it's cool.
It's funny because sometimes, if I'm out and about, they're like, oh my God, is that your stage name? And I'm like, no, actually, it's my real name, And then if we're out in Topanga or wherever doing some ceremonial situation, they're like, oh my God, Crystal Virgin, your name is so magical.
It is magical.
Thank you. But
wait, what ceremonies have you done in Topanga? I want to go.
It was, this is actually wild. One of my best friends, he is now working in Costa Rica. This is a crazy story I'll bring in because I feel like he's like kind of one of my guides. He's now working in Costa Rica. He had a ceremony out in Topanga that he hosted with his wife. But they're now working with shamans in Costa Rica and having a whole retreat center. Interesting though. I met him when I was studying abroad in London. Okay. I did not want him to be part of our girl group. I was like, we're going to travel. We're going to do this. Like, you can't be in. He's like, I'm going to protect you. Just completely false. He did not protect us. Whatever. We ended up becoming a little family years down the road. It's like, I'm like 28 and I'm sharing a story about how my house caught on fire on my 15th birthday. And me and my best friend are like going in and out of the house and I'm trying to find my brother. I thought he had passed out. Very long story. Fire department's on their way. My parents are back on their way. And I had this moment where it came to me like a little nudge. I'm like, he's at his friend's house. He didn't tell me. And as I was running out, this guy like had just shook me and was like, who are you trying to find? I'm like, my brother, I think he's in there. Turns out he was at his friend's house, but I never got to thank that guy when I came back. Now I'm sharing this New Year's Day with the group that I'd studied abroad with. That same friend, that guy that I met, Eric Armstrong, Will Winsel, that I met in London, he was the guy that met me on my 15th birthday, helped me try to find my brother, and I never got to thank him. And he was like, yeah, your neighbors were Sean and Leon. I was going to go hang out. And I'm like, I meet you in London. And then I'm sharing this story when I'm 28 and I find out you're with me. Yeah, so I'm going on a tangent, but those are like the crazy magical synchronicities that like happen. But yeah, my Linktree, LinkedIn, yeah, pretty much places to find me.
Awesome. Do you have any upcoming events that you're hosting?
I do. Actually, I'm hosting a private little, well, not so private, but I'm going to be hosting more at the Venice Clubhouse. That's in the works for June, and then this month I'm working on a event in Long Beach, and then another one for my IE girlies. I've heard the requests in Arcadia in a beautiful garden, but um that one is going to be, I've been hearing a lot of the girlies talk about how they feel like they're dating outside of themselves.
Yeah.
And so I am calling it the magnetism table, a romantic dinner to come back to self.
That's cool.
Thank you. And so I want to just kind of get back in touch with us, who we are, like what we want, coming back into wholeness and incorporating like beauty rituals as we're all kind of getting together and sharing our experience. So like a safe space, but with a dinner, there's going to be like a private chef, and it's going to be really cute. So I'm excited.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, you're
Awesome.
invited.
Thank you. I want to go.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for doing this.
Thank you
And I
for
want to
having
book a
me.
session with you.
We
I
should
want to try
totally
it.
do it. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
more than, I know you brought in like maybe wanting to
Do it on camera.
Do you,
I would totally do it.
you want to do it?
Yeah.
We could do a little something.
Should we do it right
something.
now?
Sure.
Yes, let's go.
Okay. So normally I would like tune you in, but I'll tune you in. I'm just curious if there's any themes coming up for you at the moment.
Hmm. I kind of feel like themes of isolation, which have been it has been a theme for me my whole life. And actually, when I went through my Saturn return and I did ayahuasca, it showed me my own hell is isolation and feeling like no one's there for me or like no one will understand me. And I kind of feel like that recently in my life because I don't have any family in LA. I live alone. I work alone a lot. And I just feel like it's kind of like sad.
Yeah. Okay. I pulled 2 oracle cards before coming here, and I asked Spirit to give me guidance, and I feel like this could resonate now that I'm like feeling into what you're sharing. So I'm just going to ask you to I'll bring it in after we tune in, and you can tell me if that resonates. But
Okay.
I'll ask you to just go ahead and close your eyes for a second and just start to be here, present in the moment, thanking yourself for being here, giving gratitude. And I'll invite you to go ahead and breathe in for 5 and exhale. Go ahead and breathe in for 5 and exhale. Go ahead and release your hands. Start to feel your feet planted to the ground, to earth, mother. Returning to your natural breath and rhythm. And going back to that moment where you felt like you found the answers. You experienced plant medicine, ayahuasca. What was the wisdom coming through? You just shared that you went through the Saturn return, feeling like you're being brought back in alignment and purpose. And I want you to ask yourself, what is keeping me isolated? I'm I'm connected to source. I'm connected to people. And I want you to tune into any visuals, any images, any body sensations, any feelings or emotions, any thoughts. And then I want you to go ahead and take one last deep breath in. And then go ahead and exhale. And start to wiggle your fingers and toes as you start to come back to the space. And so I'm curious, for someone who is so connected, why do you feel that you are isolated?
I'm getting the message that I need to trust the process that life is putting me through, because it's important for me to be in my own energy. And I am going through a process with it's important, and I don't need to be around a lot of people when I'm in this process. And that I should also, instead of telling myself I'm isolated, to ask for help more, and not just to expect things to like also always come to me, that I need to also like initiate them. Ask for help. That was a big part of my ayahuasca ceremony too.
And so,
Like hire the healers and the coaches and like get support for myself.
wow.
And not abandon myself, because there's always people willing to support me, but I also need to like take the first step sometimes. Yeah.
That is beautiful. Like, it feels like so much. That was rich. It was so, but you're so attuned that you would get so much out of just that, I want to share this, and it felt like there's very much this, now that you're sharing it. And what we did is we helped you, for somebody who's unfamiliar, right? We helped you tap into your psychological functions, and there's 7 of them. And but what I found interesting is that it sounds like, because I help people balance more of the feminine and masculine, what you're doing is leaning into this period of healing, and your higher self is asking you to lean more into a feminine, like you too can be nurtured during, and you too can get help. What I found interesting as I pulled the 2, the first card that I pulled was the masks we wear.
Wow.
And that was
Never seen this card before.
what's going on in your interior. And so I'm curious if there's this part of you that really wants to blossom and fully be exposed as like you yourself, and your exterior was a chamber of healing. So it sounds like you are preparing yourself to do that, but you're also in a chamber of healing, and that's probably why you felt like, you're in this period and you don't need to be so connected.
Yeah.
But you also are aware of who you can reach out to while you're in this process. And so it's interesting. I'll send you some pictures.
I like those cards. Those are cool.
Yeah, but I found that it's interesting. Do you feel like that resonates at all?
Totally. I mean, the last year and a half, me even talking about doing Akashic record readings has been a big breakthrough, because I was so afraid of people judging me, and because it is like a little odd. And like me coming out of the spiritual closet has been like a process.
Totally.
So makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Well, I'm here for you. I just want to say that. And I really, really appreciate you extending your,
Yeah, this was
this and beautiful. Thank you so much. I love you and your energy. So I'm excited. We'll just see what's to come.
Me too. Thank you guys for watching. This is Living in the Light with Elena. Stay tuned and subscribe for more conversations about healing, transformation, spirituality, and living your life purpose.